Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
To where you feel safe, where you plan your future, raise your children, and return when life gets rough. Nothing beats the feeling of home, a feeling a lot of people are searching for across the inland Northwest.
For half of the population that owns a house today, there is no housing crisis.
For the other half, things seem to keep getting worse. Thanks for joining us for this special 30-minute edition of Inland Northwest Housing Crisis. I'm Aaron Luna.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. And we're going to take a deep dive into how we got into this position and what's being done to change the way we approach affordable housing. In this half-hour special, the Inland Northwest Housing Crisis.
We know what goes into building a home: wood, stone, metal, plastic. And somewhere along the way, it becomes a home. A base to launch adventures, recharge the batteries, a place to be vulnerable, and for many, a money pit.
We need to fix that because it's a serious problem in the community.
Jim Frank grew up in Spokane. He's been building in the area 40 years. You've probably heard of Kendall Yards. He founded the company that built it.
The housing crisis we have today is probably 50 years in the making.
Frank says there's a lot of things contributing to the crisis, like a well-intentioned condo law in 2009 that had the unintentional side effect of ending that type of construction. Typically a less expensive form of housing that people use as a stepping stone to build equity. Or the Growth Management Act in Washington. Its goal was to route housing to empty spaces in the city, but it didn't change the regulations to make building practical, which is why most new construction is outside city limits.
Kootenai County today accounts for more than 50% of the new housing starts.
From about 1990 to 2012, home prices went up. Declining interest rates offset those increases. Now you have home prices going up and interest rates going up as well, pricing people out of the housing market. And then, of course, you have the pandemic. Your favorite place to visit now became the ideal location to work remotely.
Areas where people have discovered the quality of life that we have here, how wonderful it is to live here.
The housing crunch turned into a housing crisis.
It's not just a housing crisis, it's a housing emergency.
Michelle Girardo is the CEO of Habitat for Humanity Spokane, a nonprofit that builds decent, affordable homes.
If you're paying more than 30% of your income towards housing, you are essentially living in an unaffordable condition.
She says Habitat serves families in the 80% of median income range. Now she's seeing families in the 120% range apply for housing.
These are desperate times because we are seeing the bottom of the middle class fall out in our community.
And we will hear from both Frank and Girardo later in the show and talk about ways how to get out of this housing crisis, and also how long it could take.
Now that we know what affordable housing is, let's take a look at how many in our area are overpaying for housing. According to a report from Challenge Seattle, 31.3% of households are housing burdened, is what they call it, in Spokane County. Rates are even higher in Whitman County, with close to 40% of households overpaying for housing.
1 million, that's how many new homes in Washington, the Department of Commerce says, the state will need in the next 20 years to keep up with population growth. Lawmakers believe multifamily housing is the key to achieving that goal. That includes duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. This year, lawmakers in Olympia approved multiple bills to incentivize developers to build these types of units, as well as requiring cities to rezone neighborhoods that were traditionally zoned for single-family homes. This allows for more higher density of people to live in the same building and opens up another avenue for home ownership. The question is, once they are built, will families want to live in them? The idea is that a family could pay for a duplex and rent out the other side. That rent pays the mortgage. The owner can save up money and eventually have enough to purchase a single-family home, all while accruing equity. Tom Hormel with the Spokane Realtors Association says this could be a cost-effective path to home ownership.
Yeah, I've sold homes to people that were going to live in one side of a duplex and rent the other side, and they've done very well with it. As a matter of fact, some of them, I believe, probably are paying the entire mortgage if they haven't refinanced.
Because of the limited inventory across every facet of the housing market, the cost to purchase a duplex is comparable to a single-family house. On Zillow, we searched for a 2-bed, 2-bath duplex at a maximum price of $350,000. Only 9 options were available in Spokane.
And while there are many similarities between North Idaho and Eastern Washington, each have very different issues behind their housing crisis. Many blame the number of people moving to places like Coeur d'Alene for the rise in housing costs. Our Natalie Grant explains what's actually driving up rates and how that's pushing more and more families out of the housing market.
I've had friends that have already left the area for various reasons. They couldn't find housing. They were outpriced. They couldn't live here anymore because they couldn't afford to live here.
The Bjorkmans have called Coeur d'Alene home for many years. It's a place where they want to raise their 4 kids, but the current housing market could hinder those plans.
Everything has at least doubled in price. We really wanted to buy land, and the cost of land here has skyrocketed.
High interest rates made it hard to sell their home, but it's also hurting them on the search for a new one.
And what we could afford 2 years ago can't afford now because of those interest rates. So now we're in the position that we need to find a rental.
And with that route turning up dry as well, the Bjorkmans are feeling stuck and forced to consider a larger move to a different area.
We're living in limbo right now, and it's very uncomfortable.
Countless others are in this same boat. Lindsay Allen has been working in the real estate space in northern Idaho since 2008 and has seen the market shift firsthand since the pandemic.
We saw a massive influx of visitors. We saw a huge influx of people wanting to move here. We've definitely seen that taper off. However, that still puts us that much further behind on housing inventory.
While Allen says the housing crisis in northern Idaho is multifaceted, it all comes back to high mortgage rates and in turn low resale inventory.
The 30-year fixed rate mortgage rate is 7.29%, which is really high compared to where we were 2 years ago. They don't want to move. They don't want to give up their rate. And so we're not putting resale properties into the market. So we have major inventory issues, and the affordability, when rates go up, purchase power goes down.
Right now in Kootenai County, the average price of a home is more than $500,000. And according to Allen, the average buyer isn't making a salary that supports that. But new builds like these could be one answer to the growing problem.
Look at new construction. There's a lot of inventory out there, and it's new. You're not inheriting anyone else's problems, and it's the most affordable product on the market right now.
Allen says leaders in Kootenai County are working to address the problem by looking into new housing projects and new programs to save buyers money, knowing that if things don't change and those rates don't come down, it could force more and more middle-class people who play large roles in the community out.
You know, if you just looked at everything on paper, you could probably say, you know, we're creating a whole new generation of perpetual renters.
Reporting in Kootenai County, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
With housing costs on the rise in big cities like Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, many are moving to smaller cities like Rathdrum and Post Falls.
Find out if these cities are prepared for the influx of families and why some longtime residents are very concerned. Plus, how local organizations are helping taking matters into their own hands to deal with the housing inequity.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Wendell Motors.
This could be you. Just chilling, staying cool this summer. Join us for jackpots, food, and fun at Mississauga Casino Hotel. Play your favorite games to earn your entries to win a share of $13,000 cool cash. Paddle boards, kayaks, and air conditioners. Mississauga Casino Hotel, keeping it cool. Drawings start at 5 p.m. Saturday, July 29th. Learn more at Mississauga.com.
At your locally owned Ace Hardware, we've got everything you need to keep your grass green and your gardens blooming all season long. With top brands like Ego and Steel, you'll be able to blow those leaves and trim those weeds like a pro. We've got a wide selection of lawn and garden accessories, and our friendly experts will help you find exactly what you're looking for to keep your lawn and garden in top condition. So come see us at Ace, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
The Move Fitness gyms are on the move with a new location opening soon, giving you more reasons to join now and be the best you can be in 2023. Move Fitness.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet, like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains, designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Things are so awesome since my family got a rewards-earning Kasasa checking account from Canopy Credit Union. We have a cashback account that pays us back 4% on up to $300 worth of debit card purchases. That's up to $12 deposited into our account every month. You know what that means? More toys, more playtime, more fun. Woohoo! Canopy is putting treats back in the budget. Learn more at canopycu.com. Limits and conditions apply.
I love it when it's summertime.
Thursday, school's out for summer, but these juniors and seniors are still testing their knowledge.
In the old days, skipping school was called playing blank. Hopscotch?
Is it your day to water? Know if you are odd or even and be water wise this summer.
We're going to take a quick break from our Northwest housing crisis special to talk about the weather. 4 things to know. Clear skies tonight. It is going to get hotter tomorrow. We're going to stay in the 90s through Sunday. Some locations in the triple digits, and there is no sign of rain. Our high temperatures tomorrow will be in the 90s and triple digits for some locations. 97 in Spokane, 107 in Lewiston. Right around the Spokane area, 100 degrees in downtown and 100 at 9 Mile. Here's a look at your day planner for Thursday. 86 is our average high. We're heading up to 97. Potential for some wildfire haze in the morning. Air quality should be in good shape. However, sunshine for Friday and high of 97. Then we have the chance of some gusty winds this weekend. The combination of very dry conditions, temperatures in the 90s, and gusty winds could make critical fire weather conditions.
With such high housing costs in larger cities like Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, a lot of home buyers are choosing smaller cities like Rathdrum and Post Falls as a second option.
And the growth in Post Falls over the past 10 years was rapid. The population has nearly doubled. 4 News Now's Peter Choi spoke to people who live in those smaller cities to hear if they're prepared for future developments.
I mean, a little cheaper, you know, which still makes a difference, you know, compared to other communities, yeah.
William Cano has lived in Coeur d'Alene for years, but increased housing cost forced him out.
Oh yeah, well, we were looking for a house, but yeah, in that area, it's more expensive.
Cano eventually found a home in Rathdrum, a city that one local real estate agent says is growing.
The community in the past 10 years has just about doubled in size.
Growth that Cano has seen firsthand as a painter for a local home development company.
They're coming up with a few more communities, which is, I mean, it's...
You like it?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, definitely we can't ask for any more.
However, not everyone is in favor of the growth. The Rathdrum city planner says locals want to keep the city small.
They denied an annexation of an 11-acre industrial parcel last week, and the stated reasons were it's not the time for growth, among others. It's just not good. The infrastructure isn't available. We don't feel like it's in the best needs of the city.
With more people moving in, that means more drivers on the road. Living in Post Falls for decades, Richard Schaefer says he's stressed about heavier traffic across the city.
We never had a rush hour before. Now there is a rush hour.
Overcrowding that both cities are already trying to solve.
Roundabouts are being built, roads are being widened, bike lanes are being added.
To fund these projects, the city of Post Falls is collecting so-called impact fees.
You don't want to overbuild, but we don't want to underbuild either. You know, so we're preparing, we're planning, we're trying to get the right timing on it. Is always it's always difficult, but you know we're making those steps in the right direction.
In Kootenai County, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Well, the price of renting a home in Idaho is on the rise as well. According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, a person making minimum wage, which is $7.25, would need to work 95 hours a week just to be able to afford a modest 1-bedroom rental home. That's a fair market rate, which is $896 a month.
With such high rent prices, some have turned to the federal government for assistance, also known as Section 8. The problem, it could take years to get into federal housing. Our Vanessa Perez introduces us to one woman who was able to turn her life around thanks to these kinds of programs.
From her desk as a CEO, you probably can tell Verla Spencer used to live in poverty. Raising 7 kids on her own made her journey that much harder. With the help of a housing voucher, the trajectory in her life changed.
It was a saving grace for me.
The voucher meant her family was guaranteed a roof over their heads, but it took 3.5 years to receive assistance.
I held on to hope, and so I would apply to some of the tax credit properties to see if I could get in there. There is a waiting list that was a mile long for everybody, every program that I tried to apply for.
Spencer eventually got to the point where she became self-sufficient and decided to pass the torch. A scary moment as she let go of the safety net she knew for years.
Once I let the voucher go, it went uphill for me. And so did I have challenges along the way? Absolutely. But once I got through those challenges, I will say now I am a homeowner. But everybody has to start somewhere.
Spencer's story is all too common. People are waiting years to receive a voucher. The Spokane Housing Authority provides rental assistance to thousands of households a month.
The reality is that incomes are not keeping pace with the amount of the cost of living.
Only about 1 in 4 people who qualify for a voucher will ever actually receive one. The last time the waiting list opened was in 2016. In 4 days, the Spokane Housing Authority received 5,000 applications. To this day, it's still working its way through. About 120 people are left on the list. PAR expects the waiting list to reopen between October and December of this year.
Housing is the foundation on which they're able to do all of the other things in their life that are important. It's really hard to go to work if you don't have a place to live. It's really hard to take care of your medical if you don't have a place to live. It's hard to get your kids to school if you don't have a place to live.
In North Idaho, 1,700 people are currently on the waiting list. The wait time is about 17 months.
We, do recognize there's a very, difficult challenge for low-income renters out there right now, and we're happy to be able to provide the support and resources that we do have available to us.
Ellis says people who receive a voucher could take some time to actually find a place that will accept it. People are given about 4 months to find a place, but can ask for an extension. Others get lucky and are able to find a home more quickly. For people like Spencer, receiving a voucher can be life-changing for families.
Even though I had to wait a long time to be able to get it, it helped me become self-sufficient and helped me get to where I am today. And without it, I don't know where I would be.
Both organizations are working with landlords by offering incentives to get people into housing quicker. You can see if your family qualifies by going to our website, KXLY.com. Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Connect with a friend. Connect with a muse. Connect with nature. Connect with summer and find what it holds for you in the off-road ready Mazda CX-50. Uncover what lies ahead during Mazda's Season of Discovery sales event.
Discover nature's most unique adventures in a Mazda CX-50. Available for immediate delivery at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
Coeur d'Alene Casino presents the Core Stars Entertainment Series. Join us as we celebrate our 30-year anniversary with an amazing lineup of the hottest entertainment. See comedian Jeff Foxworthy on Thursday, July 27th. Don't miss an evening with Night Ranger on Thursday, August 24th. Plus, join us for King of the Cage on Thursday, September 14th. For tickets, visit the casino box office or cdacasino.com. Coeur d'Alene Casino, welcome home.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
This is your summer to smile, to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and savor every bite. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Don't miss enjoying a moment with our on-site labs to help you fast and 20% off your denture care. So whether you need a new look or quick fix, you can celebrate with a smile all season, always at Aspen Dental. Book today.
This is the Kelly Clarkson Show.
Summer's here, y'all. I'm so ready. You are so ready. Give your day a little Kelly.
I'll be back on the show.
Oh, this feels so good.
I love my life. Big stars and good vibes. Puff it up. Get showered in summer. Let it rain, y'all.
Watch Kelly weekdays at 4 and 4 News Now at 5.
4 News Now is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Extreme Team.
Black and brown people also have the lowest rate of home ownership in the city of Spokane.
It's no secret that there is housing inequality across the U.S. In Washington, only 47% of Hispanics and 35% of Black or African Americans are home owners, compared to 68% of white homeowners.
Now, multiple local advocacy groups are taking matters into their own hands to address this issue. Our Allison Martinez has the story.
The tensions surrounding the housing crisis especially affect underserved communities in Spokane. This apartment complex right here is the latest effort by equitable housing advocate Chauncey Jones to help bridge that gap.
Black and brown people also have the lowest rate of home ownership in the city of Spokane, some of the lowest since the Fair Housing Act in 1968. Our rates are declining.
Jones is the executive director of Take Up the Cause, a nonprofit that merged with the East Central Community Organization to advocate for equitable housing access. Jones says his drive towards housing equity was born early on.
I grew up in not ideal circumstances, right? I lived in a motel room for 4.5 years, and I tell people it wasn't no sweet life of Zach and Cody either. It was the trenches, right? Grew up in public housing. We didn't have people advocating for us.
Take Up the Cause has focused its efforts on creating a portfolio of housing. Each property offers both housing and services to a unique demographic of people experiencing housing insecurity.
We're standing outside of Friendship Gardens. It's our senior living facility. 62 years and older to qualify. It's 100% subsidized.
The Resident Action Project has had a helping hand in lots of legislature, but strides are still being made towards critical bills like the rent stabilization bill.
It's important because without it, landlord can use rent increases just to discriminate and retaliate against tenants.
Equitable housing organizations like RAP approach advocacy by sharing their stories of housing injustice.
But you just gotta speak from your heart, you know? Because it's your truth, and it's what's impacted you, and it's your voice, and that makes you powerful.
For information on Take Up the Cause's housing options and RAP's advocacy, you can contact the emails on your screen. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Hi, I'm Gabby Lemieux, inviting you to join me for the Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA at the beautiful Circling Raven Golf Club. The tour's mission is to prepare the world's best female professional golfers for a successful career in the LPGA.
Circling Raven Golf Club has once again been chosen to host this women's professional golf tournament August 21st through the 27th. More than 150 pros from over 30 countries will compete for shares of the $200,000 purse.
The Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA, brought to you by Circling Raven Golf Club and 4 News Now. I'll see you right here.
It's the biggest anniversary sale in the history of Walkers as they celebrate the opening of their first store in 1980 with the largest store-wide discounts ever offered, where you can get wall-to-wall savings for every room in your home, anywhere from 19 to 80% off, or take advantage of special 5 years no-interest financing.
This is the one sale our customers wait all year for.
And your chance to save like never before, including accessories and decor.
This week at Walkers.
When you're looking to upgrade the look and energy efficiency of your home, no one does a better job at a better price than McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime. At McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
The
factory-supported summer RV show, July 27th through 30th at the Spokane Fairgrounds. Beat the rush. Preview units. And get pre-show pricing now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake in North Spokane. Every RV at R&R RV is show priced now. Some units up to 50% off. Save thousands on remaining 2022 models. R&R RV is your RV superstore. Why wait? Get pre-show pricing now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake and North Spokane. Or shop now at rnrrv.com.
Weeknights, Carol Burnett reaches for the MeTV comedy stars. Mr. Alan Alda.
Poof, a star is born.
Mr. Andy Griffith.
I'm right here.
You like hillbillies?
Movie stars.
You all know him from Green Acres, Mr. Eddie Albert.
Wonderful. Now we're getting somewhere.
Very funny, Mr. Larry Hovis.
That's a good idea.
Miss Carol Burnett, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch MeTV's comedy stars over the air on KXLY 4.2.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Great Northwest Gathering Auto Show.
If you've lived in the inland Northwest for as little as 5 years, you've seen the changes.
It's a wildly different landscape than it was just a few years ago.
It's a race to get homes built, and it's not just us.
Missoula is having these problems.
There is progress on this front. Spokane is opening multifamily housing options in all neighborhoods. Accessory dwelling units, you may know them as mother-in-law suites, are also coming to the front of the conversation. Jim Frank, retired from a decades-long career of home building, says it's not as simple as allowing change. We have to nurture it.
And we need to have a regulatory framework that encourages that to happen.
And it's not just changing laws. A lot of it is changing minds. Habitat for Humanity CEO Michelle Gerardo says there's a stigma around what affordable housing looks like.
But we're not talking enough about what it could be.
An example, Habitat partnered with Greenstone to build Highland Village in Airway Heights, combining single-family Habitat homes with multifamily housing in a neighborhood that mirrors the River District in Liberty Lake, where you'll find townhomes, cottages, and multifamily stitched together in a way to make everything match. Frank says it should be about density, not zoning.
You don't need to fear that your housing prices are going down by creating an opportunity for someone else to own a house.
Our coverage of the housing crisis doesn't end here.
This problem is here to stay, and we are committed to telling the stories of those impacted most, both in our newscasts and on KXLY.com.
Download the 4 News Now app today. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.